Good morning, Copers. Good morning, everybody. Hello, we are back. Runaway train, but we are coming back this time. We're back after a week of running away. Dude, somebody in the chat, somebody said Gen X slop song, and it was like, I felt like that meme with like, what's he called? Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, where he like obliterates. So I felt like I was obliterated by that comment. I'm like, oh man, Runaway Train. I haven't listened to that in so long. I'm listening to it. I'm like, yeah, this song is so good. I was a key that could use a little turning. And then this guy in the comments, he goes, Gen X slop song. And it was like, I was like obliterated, completely, like, it felt like I was just vaporized by him writing that. Very visceral video, too. I remember watching that in like middle school and thinking like some of that imagery, seeing it again, it came back like it was like burned in the back of my consciousness, like where the guy, like the fat guy takes off his shirt and he gets into the van because he's about to rape like the fucking 12-year-old girl or whatever. Like that's crazy. And the old guy picking up the prostitute, the end where the kid gets like baby snatched.
Monkey_brain sent $5 on Power Chat. Unkslop.
Yeah, Unkslop for real. It's such a good song though. What, you thought one hit wonders just meant weird shitty pop songs? No, there was some one hit wonders that were just a little too real. It's so good, man. And then the kid gets baby snatched, and then they show the picture of the missing baby, and you're like, oh, that really happened. Damn. Anyway, what's up? What's going on? What's good? I'm gonna try to keep the recap of where I'm at brief, because that's all I talked about on the Monday show. But internet's fixed. Okay, so that's good. The internet went out on Monday. That's what happened. Thank you, Realmatic.
Realmatic sent $30 Crusaders. Good morning, LP. It's not much, but thanks for the show.
Thank you. What is that voice? Oh, God. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, thank you. Appreciate it. Guy came out, was here for like 10, I gave him the rundown of my history with this, which is, I'll spare you guys, but it's been like 8 years of internet problems. And he like does like a 10-minute walk around, and he comes and he's like, well, I checked everything. It's all working. We've like replaced every like piece of equipment. So, he's kind of like doing the like, so I guess I'm out of here because it's working thing. And I'm like, please, dude, go up the pole. Please, bro, you got to climb up the pole and take a look. And he was actually, he's like, yeah, he didn't give me a fight at all. Sometimes they fight back. I remember one guy, I had to threaten him. I was like, if you leave, I'm going to pick up my phone as you're leaving the driveway, and I'm going to order a new tech. I'm going to keep doing that until somebody climbs up the freaking pole. And that guy did do it when I said that. I've never had one full out refuse to do it, but it fixes it. Anyway, he goes out the pole and he says he switched my cord with like the neighbor's cord because my outgoing signal was weak. 80, which is still technically like, that's like the border year. So when I was young, I didn't like, before the term millennial was coined, I didn't consider myself Gen X, but I also didn't understand how generations worked. Like my older brother was 2 years older than me, and I was like, oh, he's Gen X. I'm like the next thing. I didn't realize generations were supposed to span like 25 years. But so I identified with the thing which hadn't been named yet, and people were saying like either like Generation Y, or some people were saying Generation Next. Who here remembers Generation Next? Because it was like a play on X, Generation X, by the way, that was coined by Douglas Copeland, a Canadian author, whom I've read many of his books, and they're good books. Microsurfs, book about tech nerds, kind of kind of impacted me, helped me go into tech. And Zillennial. Well, no, Zillennial, that would have been after Millennial. Anyway, so I didn't consider myself Gen X until I got older, and then millennials were like very like looked down on, and I didn't want to be a millennial. But I just think I also sort of relate more with Gen X, but I'm basically either or. Dude, I don't know what's going on in the Odyssey chat. Eagle Pax Max is on some kind of, he's on some weird shit. I think this is one of the guys from 88 Streams. It's giving me 88 Streams flashbacks. He's calling out Omega Bacon. He's calling out Sons of Liberty. Nobody cares. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Chat. LP is lying. He just took a break.
I did slack off big time.
Wandering Neanderthal sent $20 on Power Chat.
Thank you, Wandering Neanderthal. Thank you, Soul Divine. I did, I really did slack off. It's just, I'm all out of sorts. I'm really glad to be back, glad to get back on my, just back on my routine, man. I'm not somebody who does well on his own recognizance. I need a set schedule. I said this when I talked about how I wasn't going to schedule Twitter posts. I said I'm kind of worried that opening it up to more of like a free roaming time of work would result in me just getting nothing done, and it has been that way so far. We'll see. I plan to do like another 2 weeks. I plan for the next 2 weeks to actually like try to focus and work hard, and if it doesn't work, I'll probably just go back to scheduling meme slop, even though it's just, I don't know. I need a schedule. I need a routine. You put me on my own recognizance and I end up just doom scrolling, or even worse, playing video games or whatever. So anyway, internet should be fixed. He switched me with the neighbor, and then the neighbor's signal was weak and mine was good. So there was a problem, and he found the problem, and they're going to come replace the box. But in the meantime, I'm on the good connection, and the neighbor's on the
Nutter sent
on the shitty one.
$3 on Power Chat. Hopefully you busted some fat nuts on your time off.
Don't do that. I'm not like that. I don't get down like that, but thank you. So that's the internet's fixed. I'm on the new computer. The old computer is still at the shop. You might have seen my tweet. The guy quoted me $500 to $600 to replace the cooling pump in the Alienware computer. So I was like that's crazy. Like, what the fuck? So never buy an Alienware. Never, ever, ever buy an Alienware computer, because you can't get the cooling pump. You need like their custom Alienware cooling pump that you can only get on eBay, and it's like $250 on eBay, which I assume also takes a long time. I don't use eBay, but I assume it's like a lot slower than Amazon. So instead of that, I ordered new parts from Amazon. They're supposed to get here today, and then I'm going to take them to the shop, and then he's going to like build me a new computer with the salvageable parts from the Alienware and all that. And so that means I'm still missing like a bunch of stuff. I don't have my thumbnail PSDs. I don't, the big one, I don't have my intro timer countdowns, but the big one that I'm currently missing is the
Romatic sent $30 Crusaders. You are my ball Kang, 88 down. Crusaders up 0.
Thank you, Romatic. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's talking about. COTC, what is that? Corner of the corner? Somebody told me once and I don't remember. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, but thank you. I don't know why that one didn't read. I'm Gen Z with Gen X parents. Dude, talk about Ankh. What do you mean you're Gen Z with Gen X parents? Your parents must have been really young then when they had you, right? Zoomer work ethic and sensitivity to abuse of authority.
Devenioyer sent $20 on Powerhat. Welcome back heres some shekels for the backscoop PC.
Thank you. I don't know what voice that was. Thank you for the $20. Appreciate it. This has been a really rough week financially. I don't want to throw a pity party and whine about it, but I'm down like $20,000, most of which is lawyer fees. But obviously also missing a week of work, having to buy a new computer for like $3,000. Well, the new computer was like $3,000, including the new hard drives are expensive, man. A 2 terabyte hard drive was $300.
$3 on Power Chat. Don't you ever abandon us like that again, you hear?
Well, the good news is I probably won't be. The only thing at this point, because having 2 computers will like fix a lot of the missing shows because of tech issues. I'm gonna, as soon as I get that computer, I'm gonna set up my Google Drive back up to the clouds so that I'm not like missing files like I currently am because the computer's in the shop and I don't have the files. But the only other thing I could do would be to get Starlink for internet backup, which I was very close to pulling. I told Allison to look into it this week and I was going to maybe do it so that I just don't miss shows. But after the tech came and he said he fixed the problem, I'm like, well, you know, maybe I don't have to fucking pay for Starlink. Because like Starlink, you have to buy your satellite dish and that's like $3,000 or something. So maybe I'll just hold off on that a little bit more. But yeah, the 2 terabyte, like I asked Grok what hard drive to buy and Grok was like, you should get a Sony Evo. And I was like, okay, let me look up a 4 terabyte Sony Evo. And it was $800. And I was like, what? So I bought a cheapo 2 terabyte brand and that was like $300. I'm a Zillennial Zoomer and my parents are 65. You know, everybody's a boomer at a certain age. That's the thing. Because, like, technically that would make them Gen X, right? At this point, wouldn't it? I don't know.
The Nutter sent $3 on Power Chat. LP, this is your lawyer. I've been watching some more corn and you owe me another 5K. Oh shoot, I forgot to change my username. My identity has been exposed.
Starlink antenna is $3. That's like the small one, though, right? Isn't there like, there's like a antenna and then there's like an actual dish? Because we ordered the dish at one point. We did, and it was like 3,000 or something. I don't remember. I want to say it was like 3K. And it came here in a box, which we ended up never opening because they fixed the internet. People are saying it's not that expensive. Well, how much does the connection cost though too per month? Because that's like that's the real, like you're paying for a backup connection and it's going to be what, 150, 200 a month in case your internet goes down. I'd rather just wait and see. If the problem comes back with the internet, then maybe I will pull the trigger, but I just am feeling a little bit hurting right now. You know, the lawyer's bill. So I was trying to like do the math. I was like, wait, is it 40,000 or 50,000 that I'm down from this lawsuit? And on Monday, and somebody in the chat said 50K. And I was like, no, that can't be right. But that was correct. Glad you're back.
Pigger Nussy sent $5 on Rumble. Glad you're back, LP. Feels like your video quality is clearer too. Not that it was bad before.
You know what's funny is
PHGSBLLLD sent $5 on Rumble.
What?
I'm still fat and broke. So this is a pretty big gesture actually. Thanks LP.
What? Okay. Yeah, you should be sorry. No, I wasn't that bothered. I was just a little confused. Gen X parents with Zoomer kids. Your parents would have had to have kids under the ages of 25 and been born right at this, like it would be like me having a kid before I was 25. If I did that, I would have like a Zoomer kid. It was not like, that's not impossible. It's just not super common. You just don't see that a lot these days. What the fuck is Eagle Pax Max? I'm trying to ignore it, but it's like this weird. I look over and I'm curious. I'm like, what's the tea? What's the drama? What's going on? What happened? Is somebody Jewish? Is Omega Bacon Jewish? What happened? Weird fringe Odyssey drama. Should I get Eagle Pax Max to call in to call into the StreamYard and tell us what happened? Who's Jewish? Oh God. Anyway, the 15,000 lawyer bill, I actually only have to pay half of that, so I'm actually only down 43,000. But what I was saying as the internet dropped on Monday, I'm really annoyed and frustrated because the cost of pursuing the lawyer fees at this point is $18,000. In other words, I had to pay $18,000 to try to recoup the other 26,000. And if I had understood that, I would have preferred to just cut my losses. But anyway, it's too late now. What's done is done. No point crying about it. It's okay. I'm never going to own a house. And I'm probably, not only that, I'm probably going to drive my 2014 Toyota Corolla for the rest of my life.
Romatic sent $30 Crusaders. LP, who are the wiggers who show up in the donos when people donate.
Oh, you don't know? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked, because now I have an excuse to play my favorite video on the internet.
All sent $10 on Power Chat. Gen X is 1965 to 1980. My younger brother is a 2001 Zoomer and our parents were 32 when they had him. Ex-parents Z kids, isn't that wild?
Ex-parents Z kid. Isn't that wild? Yeah, it's not. It's becoming less and less common though for people to have kids before they're 25. I also feel like 25 is like too much for a generation now. Even though people are, it's like, I don't know, it should be like widening because people are having kids older and older, but I feel like the obsession with categorizing people into generations is making the generations smaller and smaller so that we can like pigeonhole people. I don't know. Anyway, hold on. You ain't gotta say too much. Why is this not coming up on my YouTube? Here it is. Okay. Part of the reason.
Rabid Goy sent $5 on Power Chat. Some shekels for a RG. Real Goy.
Thank you, Rabid Goy. Part of the reason I'm just on the full cam version is because I don't have my memes to cover up my segments that are coming. That's all on the other hard drive. But these are the guys in the GIF, the Dono GIF.
Yeah. Mr. Bliss Chilling sent $3 on Power Chat. It's a blessing to not pay 200k interest to the chosen ones over 20 years. Also, won't you inherit a house one day as it was meant to be?
Well, I will not be inheriting anything, but Allison is an heiress. We should like to joke about that. Allison's parents were fiscally responsible people, and so they actually have money to leave to their children. My parents, I am not expecting. Maybe I'll get 5,000 or something like that. I have no idea, to be honest. We don't, we come from that. It's gauche to discuss such things.
$3 on Power Chat. Technology's acceleration and effects on each generation seems like it would make the generation shorter too.
Yeah, that's what it kind of makes sense. But but there's like a push and a pull, because if people are waiting till they're older to have kids, that would make the gap wider. But anyway, here's the GIF. I watched this video. I laughed so hard because he starts singing the girl part and then he realizes and then he stops. Watch. This is what YouTube was made for. This is like the only. This type of shit is the only like legitimate use for YouTube. All influencers should die, including me. We'd all be better off. This kind of thing. This is real YouTube.
We get up and hit it hard as they love for you. I told the draws, come on, balls. I love whenever the pussy walls. I heard you got the kill. I can see it up in your grill. Can you ride it like a black Mercedes?
I wonder how they're doing, man. I hope they made it. I hope they're still going strong. These kids. This is like an old video. This was posted 13 years ago, and this is like a re-upload. Anyway, that's the video. So I think we can get into the news. I said I was going to keep it short, but I haven't done a good job of that. Is there anything else important I needed to say? I don't think so. Just long story short, oh, right. Okay, so the YCSP videos, all the YCSP videos that I downloaded are on the hard drive, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a YCSP this week. Ideally, I get my parts today from Amazon, I rush them over to the store, and he builds it before end of day tomorrow, and I get to pick up my computer tomorrow, in which case there is YCSP. Otherwise...
Romantic sent $30 Crusaders. LP, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to play that because I want every time there's a super chat and you see that GIF, I want you to hear them going, "You don't gotta say too much. I can tell by the look in your eyes you want to fuck," or whatever, you know, the words, whatever it is. "By the look in your eyes, I can tell you want to fuck." I want you to associate that with me. No, just kidding. All right. So maybe hopefully YCSP. I don't know. I have an idea. I'm not going to say this for the next progress report. I want to have a big progress report, and I think it's doable, but I'm going to not say anything else about that for now. All right, so we left off. We were talking about the Onion. We're going to recap. We're going to get caught up on all the stories that I missed that I wanted to talk about, which is only like 3 or 4. But one of them was this Onion thing. We did already watch this on Monday. I'll just play a little sample again, but this is Tim Heidecker doing his Alex Jones impression, where for some reason the joke is that Alex is a Satanist.
Once more, I did this earlier this morning, but I'm going to sip from the blood of the Forsaken. This is real human blood. You can find this at the InfoWars store. This is human blood curated from the Forsaken and the sinners. All right, this is pure premium blood, tested, FDA unapproved. And this is just human blood. As part of my satanic ritual, I am a servant to Satan. And thank God I was able to get him and the Lord to sit down and come to their senses and get things back to before Satan was cast into hell. So I'm part of that. I'm part of.
Betimo sent $2 on Rumble. He's now a gay nursing assistant and she's an abused mud shark with 6 baby daddies and 8 kids.
No, that's black pill. That's a psyop. They're happily married mixed race wiggers. they're happily married. Their mixed race son is AP honors with a full track scholarship to med school. Dude, I'm checking Odyssey. Just give me a sec. I'm just checking to make sure this guy's not like a mod banning everybody, because I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I need to like pull up my, where is it? We're blocked and hidden channels. Okay. No, I was just confused because the Sons of Liberty guy hasn't said anything. This Eagle Pax guy is like, bye. He's going, bye. See you later. I'm like, what's happening? Is he a mod? I don't even know who my mods are. Okay. We're okay. Got it. All right. I don't know what this has to do with me and my channel. It feels like something you could take over to the relevant space. So, watching this again, I'm a Satanist, I'm selling blood on the InfoWars store. I think that like this comes from a place of like, we don't like Alex Jones and we want to like make fun of him in a way that would piss him off and piss his fans off. So it's like a very like malicious kind of comedy. Like it's not like, oh, we're touching on this thing that's funny, but rather like we want to upset people we don't like, which is why it's not funny, I think. Because instead of like coming from like a place of like where you're taking Alex Jones and parodying him, you're just like taking him and like flipping him around to give him like the opposite views because you think that would piss him off. Anyway, people were saying you can't parody Alex Jones because he's already like a walking satire and sharing some funny clips of Alex. And this is one of the clips that was going around that I thought was really funny.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding dong. And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding dongs. But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Didn't you already tell Der Spiegel that?
No, the son of a bitch walked in there in my own office when I'd splattered stuff on myself and I was changing shirts. He goes, oh, that's a good shot. Let's get your shirts. And then he goes, I go, hey, have some of this chicken and sausage. So technically I said, Jones offered me his sausage. Yeah, give me a break, you son of a bitch. I like women, not men. And if I like men, I'd be proud of it. I'd have a line of them. But I ain't ever been in bed with no man. I've been in bed with probably 300 women. And you sons of bitches sit there and you play these games, and I'm sick of it. So
Alex Jones is like just funny already. So that's the problem. You're taking a guy who is funny, and most people at this point don't take him that seriously, right? He's just like this funny guy who's this entertainer, and then you're trying to like parody that. But the problem is he's already funny to begin with. So good luck. Good luck topping that. Okay, quick story I wanted to touch on is this person was arrested in the UK for drawing chibi style art. So somebody got arrested in the UK for drawing lolicon. This guy, Mr. Obvious, by the way, is like such an insane gooner. He's always freaking out about, tell him you think we should age verify pornography websites. And watch him like lose his shit on you. Tell him you don't think 12-year-olds should be able to just like go to Pornhub and watch, porn. And watch him like lose his shit and scream at you about like privacy. He's a based anti-Semite. I don't know, man. He's a based gooner, more like. He's a based gooner anti-Semite. So anyway, this guy, it's not about Mr. Obvious. That's just a side note because he's like, this is what he says. For the actual love of God, literally nobody for any reason ever moved to the UK. So this is from a Reddit r/legal advice. My wife has just been arrested for chibi style art she drew in 2011. She wasn't even in the UK when she drew or sold it. This was a reply on the Reddit. I work for a major UK police force investigating digital crimes and specialize in the investigation of IIOC extreme pornography and the prohibited images that you believe this case is related to. I can guarantee you that you do not know everything. Our police forces are drowning in CSE cases, that's child sexual exploitation. We do not actively seek out offenders for prohibited content except in the most extreme or egregious cases. There is more to this story than you know. This is like the meme I was talking about, or it's like a variation on it. The Dr. Manhattan one. Literally delete yourself, arresting people over drawings, no matter what, is stupid, and it's something only the UK does. Based UK. You guys are a dark joke on the history of humanity. Oh yeah, you mean the biggest empire in the world, in the history of the world? and also the people responsible for the language that you're speaking, the world language, the people who invented literally the global language are a joke of history? I don't think so, buddy. Why don't you go back to speaking fucking... What do you think this guy's ethnic heritage is? So this guy called him a Filipino. Is that true? She made AI child porn. What are you talking about, you Filipino? She spoiler alert, she is a dude. Spoiler alert. Hold on, my dog's barking. I gotta get him real quick. LP, don't defend the UK police. Yeah, what do you think banning porn meant? Vibes and essays? You guys think when I said I want to ban porn, did you think I was joking? No, I want pornographers in jail. And that includes people who make virtual child porn. That's included under the umbrella. See, here, I would put all pornographers in jail. People who make virtual child porn, maybe I would include like chemical castration or just death, just like execution. You know what I mean? Oh, LP, this is authoritarian. Yeah, what did you think banning porn meant? Vibes and essays? No, this is awesome. We should do this in America. And in fact, we have, by the way, that the UK is the only place that does this, wherever that was, right here. That's not true. People have been, this came up in my lolly debate on Modern Day Debate. I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, but I brought cases of people who were convicted. There was a guy in America was running a website where it was fiction, literary fiction.
Romantic sent 3 Crusaders. Can you make me mod on Crusaders? I love your LP.
Do we need a mod on Crusaders? So the thing is if I make you a mod, you can post pictures, and I don't want people posting pictures that are going to cause me problems. I don't know what the story. I've heard people have said that about Emily. I don't know what the story is. I doubt I would care that much. Also,
Gabber sent $3 on Power Chat. I vote to execute gooners. They've tainted their genetic memories with gooning.
It's probably a bit far. Obviously, if we made it illegal, we wouldn't like retroactively go after people. I would say it's illegal now, so cease all pornographic activities now. I wouldn't actually want to retroactively go after people, but I don't know what people say she did, like weird furry stuff or whatever. I doubt it's that bad, but you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Keep it to yourself. Anyway, there's a guy who was running a website where they would write fictional stories about raping kids, and it was like a subscription website that pedophiles would pay to read these stories, and that guy was arrested and put in jail because it was so obscene and horrific what they were doing. And I am 100% in favor of that. Why are you writing stories and getting sexually aroused talking about raping kids? You belong in jail at best. That's where you belong at best. We just don't do it enough in America. We do it. It has happened. It should happen more. But there's a lot of like real pedophiles who probably should be dealt with as a priority. We have a lot of problems. Anyway, okay, so this story happened. Everybody's, it's the usual like discussion about they're just drawings and all that, people supporting it, and then people who are in the correct camp saying like pedophiles should get the rope or whatever. No. I'm sorry to report that no, I don't have Will Stancil confirmed yet. I'm working on that. more shit came to light. You're never gonna believe this, but the VTuber known as Mimi Yanagi, who is the person in question that was arrested for their drawings, is actually a guy by the name of Jordan Williams, who is a troon that calls himself Alexandra Williams, and is a pedophile. Is actually a pedophile. You're never gonna believe this. The guy that you were all defending and saying it's just drawings, once again, is we could honestly just arrest VTubers. No, I don't have Mr. Girl yet. I haven't gone back to him yet to try to convince him. Mimi was a VTuber who was arrested by the UK police for possessing doujins and other anime paraphernalia. That's such a funny phrase, anime paraphernalia. It's so accurate though. It's like you have a manga that's like having a crack pipe. Anime paraphernalia. They forced her to dox her real name, which is Jordan, by the way. Her real name is Jordan. And it's a male. I guess that's kind of a unisex name. Thousands of people left to her defense, calling the UK incompetent fools for harassing a harmless woman. That was the narrative up until today. Thanks to the efforts of Kiwi Farms, this has been proven false. Mimi Yanagi is actually Jordan Williams, a biological male with a years-long history of openly embracing pedophilia online. Jordan, despite spending several £1,000s of the taxpayers' money, he is on welfare because he refuses to get it. So literal welfare pedo who sells child porn drawings as commissions and gets paid to make this disgusting filth, but doesn't pay taxes on anything while he sits there and collects welfare. Literally public execution. I would sign off on that, to be honest. Jordan's identity as a pedophile is much more relevant. This is not a term I use lightly because it's thrown around too often. Jordan is extremely blatant about his vile predilections. Within hours of the announcement of his arrest, Kiwi Farm members had already found his Pixiv account. Jordan followed various pedophile artists on Pixiv. This is not an allegation. These pedophiles self-identified as pedophiles through their tags and content descriptions. Anyway, I'm not going to read all this. You get the idea. The woman VTuber who was arrested for chibi drawings is actually a male pedophile troon. An actual pedo, just so you know. Shocker. Crazy. Who could have predicted this? Right. Moving on to the next topic I want to cover. Again, these are kind of older topics, but I've been away for a week. Is people checking out of politics. If you listened to Just Be Normal episode 2, it was called Crossroads, and I talked about this myself, and that was like before all these tweets came out, which proves that I have my finger on the pulse here, if nothing else, right? Fuentes says, I'm getting really sick of politics, honestly. Chief Trumpster says, same. Andrew Torba said, kind of bored with posting about politics, diminishing returns, many foolish and evil people. Perhaps this becomes a pro-natalist Christian tech dad feed now. AI homeschooling, building things, sovereignty, and dad tips. So I talked about this on my Just Be Normal podcast. And then after I said that, all these people just confirmed, because I called it in the podcast, I said, we are in a paradigm shift. Idaho has reinstated the firing squad. Yeah, based.
Jaco Winkleman 4704 sent $5 on YouTube. In unrelated news, Idaho has reinstated the firing squad.
Who do I have to bribe after I move to Idaho to to be on a pedo's firing squad? Whose palm do I have to grease to get that job? Dude, imagine. Okay, new Emperor LP policy dropped. New economic. You've heard of the Trump like golden tickets for immigration or whatever. When I'm emperor, we're going to round up pedophiles, which they're so easy to find. Like this is proven by people like Alex Rosen and so forth. Not to like diminish what they do, but I'm just saying if some guy can go out and find a different pedophile every fucking day, then imagine what the feds could do if they wanted to catch pedophiles. That's what I'm saying, which is under my direction, they would want to do that and they would find them, and then we would sell in like an auction to people to be on the firing squad. Thank you, Monkey Brain. UK local elections. That's a little too niche for me. That's a little too. I don't know. I don't know about UK local politics. Right? So you would bid like I will pay $5,000 to shoot that pedo. Think of how good that would be for the economy. Anyway, dude, I'm getting all stuffed up again. It's something about when I come and sit at the computer and talk. Like it's not this bad normally. Anyway, I don't want to harp on that either, but kind of annoying. Something it's like dust in the keyboard maybe or something. I don't know. Anyway, so Owen Schroyer, he talks about people checking out of politics. I haven't watched this. I want to listen to it. So I think I want to make a prediction about what I think maybe the interesting aspect is. Because like the obvious aspect is like Trump is kind of like a big disappointment and hasn't really, done what we were hoping he would do. And you just kind of feel like, what's the point of caring about politics if winning doesn't matter? But the other aspect to it, which I'm curious if he's going to talk about, something that like every time I log on Twitter, it just hits me like a ton of bricks, is the way like influencers just are all constantly shit talking each other. It's like online politics is just a bunch of influencers talking trash about each other. You know what I mean? Like it's like a little like it's like a bunch of women. It's like a bunch of fucking women who just like can't stop talking shit about each other on the internet. Hay fever. And that just like makes you like you start to like wonder like, why do I care about this? Like, why am I paying attention to these people? They're just so petty and catty. So we'll see if Owen Schroyer touches on that at all.
Hello, friends. I know a lot of people out there are missing the Owen report, myself included. But the stepping away from politics, the time off, has been pretty important. I think it's important for everybody. But you're seeing it now. It's kind of a mainstream discussion, or you might say...
What the fuck is Eagle Pax Max doing now? This guy's off his meds. This guy is... Are you drunk? Are you on meth? That's enough. So you got the influencers. Is this a bit? Am I not supposed to ban you right now? Because I feel like I'm supposed to ban you. What are you even doing, dude? I'm over it. I'm over it. Bye. Okay. Bye. Not fun. If that's a bit, it's not funny. You're just like an annoying distraction to me. So bye. So you have the influencers who are all like catty women who can't stop constantly shit talking each other over every little disagreement and being like histrionic about every little disagreement.
Prodigal Harem sent $3 on Power Chat. Every state is different, but typically it's corrections officers or troopers. You are firing at a paper target, perpetual lit on the other side, and 1 out of 7 chance you are shooting a blank. Only 6 bullets, 7 rifles.
Yeah. I didn't think that they actually let the public perform executions. I didn't think that was like jury duty where it's available to. I didn't actually think that. I was just trying to be funny, but thank you. Okay, do we have a Rumble mod? Are the Rumble mods active? Thank you. Looks like somebody took care of that. Thank you. Is he serious with that? Is he actually serious? Is that guy like? I feel like he's just gone insane. This is what I'm getting to. You have the influencers, and then you have like in the far right corners, like the actual like white supremacist, the 88 streams corners of the internet. Not to shit on those guys specifically, but you have a lot of people with like substance abuse issues and do not have their shit together. You know what I mean? Like 50-year-old divorced alcoholics who are like estranged from their children, and they're in the chat like complaining about somebody being a coal burner or whatever, complaining about. You would be able to tell? Well, you would be. You know what I mean? 50-year-old alcoholic divorced guys that are like estranged from their kids, and they're in your chat yelling at you because you're talking to woman propaganda because he's a coal burner or whatever. It's like, it's not everybody, but it's like, there's a kind of just a sad reality to it. And at a certain point, you're like, you know what? I just want to be normal. I want to just be normal.
Admission people are making now that they're just sick of politics. They're just sick of the whole thing. And I kind of want to put it into a perspective here for a second.
Okay, but why is your name Shadman? Because isn't that guy a pedophile? Are you the actual guy? I feel like it would be weird if the real Shadman was part of my audience, but I also don't know why anybody else would call them. I don't know why anybody would name themselves after a pedophile.
I've been able to do things with my time off that I normally can't do, some social things, and there's no doubt it is running through America's culture, social culture. People are just sick of politics. They're just sick of it. They're sick of the corruption. They're sick of the lies. It doesn't matter who gets in. We always get the same result. They're sick of Congress. They're sick of the media. They're just sick of all of it. And I like to think that, I offer something that doesn't make you sick of politics, but actually keeps you engaged, keeps you interested, keeps you informed. But everybody has to step away for their own mental health.
Who's calling out me? I'm just being real with you, man. I hopped into HT's Twitter space the other day, and it was like a sobriety space to encourage people to be sober, which I think is good. But that also points to the underlying issue is that you have a lot of people who their lives are a mess, and then they're just on they're like in these spaces, and they're kind of like, I don't know, they're just not people you would want to know, And I'm listening to the space, and again, I support people like helping each other be sober and be better, but some guy hops on and he's drunk and he's a mess, and they had to like kick him off the space because he was all drunk and fucked up.
And here's kind of the realization or the perspective that I want to pass on to you today. In order to be successful,
is Schroyer a Jew? Good grief, man. What is the world coming to when the actual Aryan Chads get called Jewish?
In politics, whether you're actually running for
nobody is good looking enough for you guys to not call them a Jew. If Owen Schroyer has to get called a Jew, then what chance does a ugly chud like me have?
Office, or whether you're in the political media, you always have to make sacrifices. It's a very transactional world. And I think what we're really seeing right now, especially in right-wing politics, is you have people that are willing to sell their souls. You have people that are willing to sell their humanity, sell their souls for whatever reason.
They don't kick people out for being drunk. I don't know about AA, but it makes sense that you would. If somebody showed up all fucked up, it makes sense that you would kick them out.
$3 on Power Chat. I surfed the Twitter spaces for a few months and rubbed shoulders with all those people. Bunch of drunks and potheads. Been 2 years and they're still drunk and they all pine after the same beat 30-year-old pick mess.
You know, this is the harsh reality. This is the harsh reality, man. So it's people like that who are doing the most purity spiraling and like that, you know, oh, Leonardo Joni, she's a coal burner. You can't talk, you know what I mean? Like the people who are telling you that you can't talk to Leonardo Joni because she's a coal burner are like alcoholics and their life is a mess. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't want to harp on it and be overly negative, but this is like a harsh reality that it's like a reality check that people need. You need this reality check and just be like, you know what? I have to be normal.
Popularity, fame, fortune, and they've just completely lost their humanity. I'm not even sure what's left of a spiritual connection to what is good in this world. If anything, it all seems political. It seems that the cancer of the political world has consumed these people. And everybody knows who I'm talking about. Everybody can see it. This is what's driving people away from politics. And I don't think this is a new phenomenon. I think it's just exponential now with social media because there's so many more people involved. There's so many more people that have a public platform now. And so you kind of get a better idea of this is what it's like. This is what it's like in the political world. This is what it's like in the media landscape. Some people will sell their soul. They will sell their humanity, and they will do it all for political clout.
Oh, I that him saying that. It's funny he should say that because it reminds me of something else I was going to bring up in my housekeeping intro when I was talking about all my money problems and how I'm down like $20,000. I'm getting offered right now a gambling sponsorship. And it's like a big, serious, lots of money where that would involve me like streaming gambling for like an hour a day, 5 days a week. So it's like 20 hours a month. Sponsorship with like serious money. I'm not going to do it, of course. I never should have pretended to be a good person with principles and values. You know, I'm jealous. I saw like what's his name? Lord Miles. He's in those viral videos with what's her face? They're doing the duel videos, the gambling videos, you know. Yeah, Lord Miles is on the gambling. All these people, Chud the Builder, Gypsy Crusade, everybody gets a taste of the pie except for me, the one guy who thought he was going to act like he had principles, and now I got to turn down. Yeah, wouldn't you guys like to see me play blackjack or whatever? Wouldn't that be fun for everybody? Shouldn't we just do it for the lols while we all have an understanding that I'm not selling out?
Political fortune, political fame, and the people that aren't willing to do that, they're just sick of it, and they're just kind of stepping away because everybody has this realization, and so they want to separate from that. They want to say, "Look, I'm not part of this. I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to sell my humanity for this political movement. That's just like any other."
Yeah, what if I just took the gambling sponsorship for the lols?
Their political movement now, corrupt, filled with lies, filled with agendas, very transactional, and they're so sickened by this because they never sold out their humanity, they never sold out their soul, that they just have to step away. It's so nasty, it's so evil. They just say, I'm stepping away. I don't want to be associated with this anymore. I don't want people to think that this is how I operate. So I'm just stepping away. And it's kind of a statement. It's a political statement to even just step away from your platform right now. And
see, I knew if I said this, there'd be a bunch of people encouraging me to do it, and I appreciate that. But I actually, I don't think it's right. The thing is that there's so much temptation to gamble these days with the poly market stuff and all the prediction markets and everything. Rain bet, I feel tempted myself. I feel like some of these things are like sure things. You know what I mean? But the reason you get addicted to gambling is because you win money, and then you're like, holy fuck. And then you ruin your life. And I'm not going to contribute to that. I cannot do it. I'm sorry. I've never told this story because it's really embarrassing, but at one point in my life, I got hooked on, it's like that mobile game. What was it? Not Clash of Clans. It's some mobile game where you have an army. And I started spending so much money on it. And so that, like, and those mobile games, they're designed to get people addicted in the same way that gambling is designed to get people addicted, you know? And I got sucked into that for like a few months. And I spent thousands of dollars, and I kind of like snapped myself out of it and was like, what the fuck am I doing, you know?
Bruno Talamudgers 3173 sent $5 on YouTube. Do you need the money? Is it compatible with your worldview as a Christian? Not chastisement. You've probably asked yourself these questions.
Who doesn't need money? Not Clash Royale. It was like it's weird. I can't even remember what it was called, but again, it's just a testament to how fried my brain is. Mobile army games, like not army, maybe army's wrong. I don't know. Who cares? It's one of those games. It's like Clash of Clans. It's like that.
The Orthodoxer sent $3 on Power Chat. We should not be gambling as it is a sin. We should be drinking water off dead saints' shriveled up foot and maxing the chud the frick out.
Yeah, somebody in the chat was saying that gambling isn't called a sin in the Bible or whatever. And it's like, look, man, when it comes to moral issues, I just use my gut. I trust God has given me Age of Empires. Yeah. That's like a PlayStation game, isn't it? Is that a mobile game? It's not. It's something like that. What is it's like Fire Age or something like that. Fire Age. What? I think Game of War Fire Age. Is this the one? Yeah. I spent like fucking like $10,000 in 3 months on this. And then I snapped out of it. Cause like you get like addicted to like the dopamine rush of like getting a big, huge army advancement. Anyway. I mean, it wasn't $10,000 because I didn't have that much money, but it was probably like I was probably spending like $1,000 a month, but it was back when I was poor, so it felt like a ton of money. I just, when it comes to moral issues, I trust my intuition. That's why I'm a blue button guy. Not to rehash that. Some people are still mad. Some guy brought that up yesterday on X. He's like, "You're first the blue button and now this." He said to me yesterday, and I just was like, "Dude, it's been a week, and you're angry about a thought experiment. You're angry about my answer to the trolley question a week later, but my moral intuition tells me that it's wrong to promote gambling, so." I'm not going to, you know what I mean? If other people like Gypsy and Chud, if they want to do that, I'm not going to sit here and Lord Miles and everybody, I'm not going to sit here and wag my finger at them, but I'm just personally not going to do it.
Take that statement that, hey, I'm not part of this. I'm not selling my soul. I'm not selling my humanity. And if you want to put it in plain words, I'm a normal person. Because a lot of these people, you're starting to realize these are not normal people. And it's funny because I'm, able to do some more social stuff with my time off.
No duct tape.
Every person.
You can, that's probably a troll, but you can go listen to I uploaded an hour talking about it. So it's free. It's Just Be Normal episode 3 Virtue, and it's free for everyone, available on YouTube, Rumble, locals, etc.
Person I talk to, and these are people all over the political spectrum, left, right, center, indifferent, very invested, conspiracy theorists, you name it. And they're all feeling and saying the same thing. They're all so sick of it. They're all so disenfranchised. They all think everything in politics is corrupt. There are no good guys. Whatever hope that Trump or MAGA or Maha, whatever hope that had for that moment, that's all gone. And so this is just what I'm hearing constantly. It's nonstop. And it's...
The website is crusaders.gg, and we are live on Crusaders right now.
Everything is so directionless right now.
How do you feel about scalping? Like Indians? No. What? Obvious tickets? Like, yeah, it's bullshit. If you bought tickets to a show and then you can't go, and so you sell your tickets, like that's not really scalping though, is it? You know, scalpers are scum.
It's this massive void. And so the people that are willing to sell their soul, the people that are willing to abandon their humanity.
Chuck Steak sent $3 on Power Chat. Imagine how good it must feel to quadruple your son's college fund on a single bet.
I have that personality. There's like a kind of person who can get addicted to gambling and it just like ruin their lives. I was also, I don't know if anybody remembers the Bitlevix promotion I had going for like a month or whatever. And we were like doing some ad reads on Sex Wars, but it was like Bitcoin futures trading or sorry, Bitcoin options. And I got like addicted to that and I lost like thousands of dollars. This is a funny story. I think I lost like $5,000, $7,000 because the way they would get you, the way they got me is they would match your deposit. So if you deposited $1,000, you would have $2,000 to trade with. And I was like, whoa, that's a good deal. And so then I was doing Bitcoin options trading, which I do not know how to do. And I lost everything. But here's what's funny about it. What's funny about it is there was like a guy, because I had the deal that there was like a guy I was talking to on the phone occasionally, and he called me to talk to me, and I was like, I like reamed him out. I was like, I lost $7,000 because he would call me and try to get me to invest more money. And he called me and I was like, I lost like $7,000. Fuck you. I lost it all. You know, I'm not doing this. Don't call me. Leave me alone. And months later, like around Christmas time, it was like during the holidays, he called me and he was drunk. And he was telling me how he felt really bad and he was going to help me get my money back. And he was going to like I wouldn't have to put anything in. He would just give me like money to invest with and teach me how to do it so that I could get my money back. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. You know, he's like, yeah, I'll call you back when I'm not. And then I never heard from him again. But I just thought that was funny because he obviously like he got drunk and he was thinking about how I reamed him out and he felt guilty and he wanted to like in his drunken state, he wanted to try to make it right. And then he got sober and he never bothered. But yeah.
They're rushing into that void. They're rushing into that void because they want to take up their space. And they're really indifferent whether they can enjoy their life or not. They're really indifferent whether people think that they've sold out or not. They don't care. As long as they fill that void and they get that fame and fortune, that clout, that access, then they're happy. Whereas normal people, they're completely turned off by that. They want nothing to do with that. And so you can kind of see this happening right.
Yeah, this was the last thing on his to-do list was apologize to LP.
Now, but I will say this, when you do get outside of the political world, there is hope. There is hope. And really, I wonder how many of these people can even appreciate the divine nature of our existence. And I know I'm kind of leaping now to this point, but it truly is connected. If you can't appreciate God's divine creation, if you can't appreciate this divine consciousness, this gift of life that we have here, and try to seek out as much love as possible, then that's why you're diving headlong into politics right now with reckless abandon and complete indifference, or completely out of touch even with your human soul, with your.
Well, I don't know that it's necessary. Like I thought he was making the connection to selling out, which I agree with. If I didn't believe in God, I'd probably just take the fucking gambling thing. Maybe not necessarily, but I'd be a lot more likely, I think. And same with the blue button. That's, you know, again, I don't want to rehash all that, but since we already did mention it, and since somebody said that I'm wrong, again, it's my faithfulness to God compels me. Okay, I'm not telling you you're a bad Christian if you disagree. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you what my intuition tells me.
Humanity with your spirit, because it's so devoid of all of that right now in politics.
It's rigged, and winning doesn't really matter. It's not worth you. It's like sports ball, you know. You're sitting here, you're rooting for your team. Like if the Dallas Cowboys wins, it's somehow going to make your life better, but it doesn't make your life better. The Republicans win, and then they vote to keep 300,000 cat-eating Haitians in the country.
So devoid of all of that right now in Washington, D.C., and yet you realize these are truly the most miserable people in the world. Because if you're getting joy out of politics right now, if you think this is all fun and games right now, then really there's something wrong with you. But when you step out of that arena, you realize that most other people feel the same way. Most other people have not sold out their soul or their humanity. And, you know, God's creation is still great. There's still joy to be found out there. There's still love to be found out there. But in the political world right now, very few and far between. That's why most people are turned off. That's why most people are feeling disenfranchised. That's why most people are feeling hopeless. Don't get caught in that trap. Don't get caught in that trap. Life is still good. God is still good. There is still hope. There is still hope. Maybe not in any political movements right now. Maybe not in anything political right now. But there is still goodness out there.
The Olympics can't be rigged. I mean, people do cheat though with steroids and stuff like that. Or men competing as women. They're cracking down on that more, but
there is still love out there. There is still passion out there. There is still beauty out there. And in that you will find hope. But you won't find that in the political world. And now you get to see who still has a connection to that. Who still has a
Dadsky, if you want to join the Discord and you want to pledge, I recommend doing it through Locals instead of Patreon. You can do Patreon, but I recommend, if you don't care, to go to ihypocrite.locals.com and do it that way.
Desire for that, and they can say, you know what, I don't mind. I don't mind if I'm not in the political current events sphere. I don't mind if I'm not covering the current event, the trending story, the viral report. No, I need to find my humanity. I need to remind myself that there's still a good world out there outside of the world of politics. So that's why you're seeing so many people are sick of it. If you're feeling that way, you're not alone. Quite frankly, the only people that are feeling, you know, anything positive out of the political world or getting any pleasure out of it, they're sick. They're genuinely sick people. Now, I love political debate, political discussion. Obviously, I can't wait to get back to my show. But if you don't still have that connection to your soul, to your spirit, to humanity, if you don't still have that connection, you're not reaching for it. If you're getting pleasure out of this current political world right now, that to me shows that you've sold your soul. That to me shows that you've lost your human.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, and I agree. There's people they get addicted to the clout, the internet clout, the money, and they're like the fakest people. But you know, not everybody is fake. It's not mutually exclusive. You can actually care about the issues but still be a sellout, you know. And he's right. If you maintain a connection to God, you're going to be insulated against that in a way that you won't be without it. We're going to come back to that because we're going to talk about the Richard Dawkins thing, and I'm going to give my own sort of talk about God, but we'll come back to that. Ashley St. Clair has now exposed DC Drano for fabricating his Jewish identity to secure business deals. So this is an Ashley St. Clair Instagram. Since Rogan wanted to out himself as the subject of my TikTok, I don't know what TikTok they're talking about. Here's how far the DC Drano guy's name is Rogan. Okay, so I thought Joe Rogan. Okay, so this guy DC Drano, I guess his real name is Rogan. Here's how far this man went pretending to be Jewish for business deals on the paid trips to Israel. He's not even Jewish. I'm sure he can still find his old tweets claiming to be when it was good for business. He also says, I am just attacking America First Patriots. Sometimes I wonder if Ashley St. Clair was really Jewish or if she pretends. I know she's got like the schnoz, so she probably is, but people do that, man. They pretend to be Jewish, especially if you go back 10 years. It was like Laura Loomer, for example. I don't know if she's actually Jewish. Milo claims she's not. It's again, you look at them and it's very easy to tell yourself, oh yeah, they're Jewish. But I'm always harping on this, but you guys aren't as good at phenotypically identifying people as you think you are. You guys were just saying Owen Schroyer looks Jewish, right? Everybody can look Jewish from the wrong angle. But there's a picture of Laura Loomer from her like high school yearbook, and she's got a Christian cross on. And Milo claims he was with her when she decided she was going to start pretending to be Jewish. So I don't know if that's true, but it's like, some people do this. He's as much Jewish as Elizabeth Warren is Native American. We love Elizabeth Warren, though. Oh, God. The shameless pandering to the left. His brother allegedly said they have like 1% Jewish heritage, and he is not, nor has he ever been practicing. Whatever my mental health issues, I ain't doing whatever the hell this is. Pretending to be someone you're not is why your marriage lasted less than a year. He then went around smearing his ex-wife, who is literally the nicest girl ever, as a gold digger. I genuinely have no idea why these people outed themselves when I used fake names. And this right here isn't even any personal relationship tea from me. His Jew cosplay is public. Say whatever you want about me, but at least I'm done pretending to be a conservative saint. Yeah. These people are so fake. Yeah. Can I come live in Florida and vote for James Fishback? I don't know why it's not playing, but thanks for the $5. Oh, there we go.
Pigger Nussy sent $5 on Rumble.
Cool. Thank you. This ring footage was also released of Nick Fuentes with the woman, what's her name, Marla Rose, when she went and knocked on his door.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
Oh my God! What? Oh shit! I only watched this once, like a week ago, but I've heard her because the audio is in the other. There was like another video before, right? Wasn't there like it was like her cell phone video? Her cell phone video had been released where he like knocks her down and then stands over her. It's so funny. Oh my God!
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
I don't know how, like, Nick is like not. he's not like a manly, strong guy, but he manages to like come across like it's like the same when he like whipped that drink at those people. He somehow manages to have like aura, even though he doesn't have that kind of aura. I don't know if he's just lucky or what, but it's funny. How does he keep getting away with it? Yeah, he launched her. Look, she like claimed she like broke ribs or something from that. Yeah, he has like a confidence when he engages physically. He does it with a kind of confidence that just comes across as like having aura. By the way, this guy Lucky Tater. Footage shows Nick Fuentes macing and forcefully shoving an old woman who rang his doorbell. This is the encounter that Fuentes claims was an attempted assassination similar to the attempts on President Trump's life. This guy is like such an insane A-log, this Lucky Tater, the MAGA Hulk guy. The only time I ever see him on my feed, he's like lying about Nick or framing something in the most least charitable way to get Twitter impressions from all the haters. This was not the assassination attempt. The assassination attempt was the guy who came with a gun and a crossbow after murdering 3 people. Everybody knows that. But yeah, this guy's obsessed. Like his whole feed is talking about Nick. And when I see that, I kind of think to myself, like what happens to a person where you let somebody else occupy that much real estate in your day-to-day life? You're always talking about the same guy. But the answer is because he's always getting Twitter like he's making money doing this. That's why he's always doing it, because there's so many Nick haters out there. It's like a profitable business model to just be an A-log. But the problem with that, is you end up, your bias ends up revealing like what a fake right winger you are. Like you support people harassing you on your doorstep, right? Because then he I think he complained in the quotes about, maybe I had this tweet pulled up anyway. Does anyone find it odd that the Cook County State's Attorney's Office allowed Nick Fuentes to constantly appear via WebEx, granted over a dozen continuances, allowed a written apology instead of a verbal one, and did not enforce the deferred prosecution agreement requiring anger management classes and 75 hours of community service? Like, it's so whiny, but the fact that you're doing this in a case where the guy shouldn't have been charged and shouldn't have been found guilty. Did they go to trial? Or I think he did like a plea agreement, right? But he shouldn't have been charged. Fuck that woman. By her own admission, she was there to harass and antagonize him. And she was doing it like a dare to impress her other shit-lib friend that she just met out front of his house. She's like, should I do it? Should I go ring the door? You know what I mean? Like a teenager doing a dare. And it wouldn't be a dare if there wasn't a risk involved. So you got exactly what you signed up for. You found out. But it's like, yeah, like this is what happens when you get derangement syndrome. When you get derangement syndrome with somebody, you end up doing this thing where you're supporting Jewish Antifa women harassing you at your house. Maybe take a step back, dude. Maybe take a step back and ask yourself if you're too far gone. When you're on the side of the Antifa Jewish harasser, the person who's ringing your doorbell because they want to antagonize you, and she thought she was going to give him some fucking longhouse HR speech about equality and hate. She rang his doorbell because she thought she was going to like chastise him about his views. When you're supporting that person, maybe take a step back. Maybe take a step back and ask yourself which side you're actually on. No one finds it weird, and everybody thinks that he was justified. He should have never been forced to apologize. Yeah, when When you're less based than somebody who works at Timcast, what happened to the little Timcast badge? When you're less based than the Timcast staff, maybe it's time to take a step back, Lucky Tater. Weirdo. Asmongold reacts to Nick Fuentes launching a Jewish... By the way, there was a whole bunch of like AI edits of the video that I'm not going to play because they're insanely like graphically violent like that. I don't think it was a good idea. It's like she's suing Nick right now. She's suing him for $10,000. And if I was her, I would be like rubbing my Jewish hands. People are posting videos where it's like Nick like dumps gasoline on her and sets her on fire and shit like that. There's one where he like kicks her into the car and then he like throws the scorpion spear and he's like get over here. And I'm just like if I was her lawyer, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is good stuff.
So Nick Fuentes had a retard come to his house. And this is what happened.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
How do you not laugh?
Get the fuck out of here!
Was that Kingdom Come Deliverance music in the background, dude? I played a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance on my week off, my forced week off. I was very lazy. No excuse. I feel guilty now, but you know, we're hitting the hard reset today. Back on New Leaf. Today is New Leaf. It's New Leaf Day for LP. It's a rough day because I'm also I had my blood work done and I was talking to the doctor and he's like, you gotta like lay off the carbs, and I'm like, okay. And Allison made cookies, and so I resisted eating a cookie this morning as I normally would do before the show. So we're off to a good start. Listen to the music though. I swear it's Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
Get the fuck out of here!
It is. I would know because I've been playing it all week.
Man. Immediately, bro, shoves her onto the fucking pavement. So, the battery charge against him has been dismissed. Thank God he shoved this bitch onto the fucking concrete. This is exactly what she deserved. It is. I'm so happy to see this. The reason why is that these people are annoying, they're obnoxious. Like, if you're going to somebody's house to, like, harass them and annoy them, this is what you deserve.
Yeah.
It is.
Obvious. Basic, simple, obvious. Chud Gold with the correct take once again.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
Definitely deserve, yeah. Absolutely.
Asmon Chud
Just
Gold.
immediately sprays her in the face with pepper spray and shoves her on the fucking ground. And I love this, man. I do. It's normal. Yeah, this is...
The thing, too, is it also sends a strong message to people that they should think twice about ringing your doorbell.
Normal behavior. Look at that. And he really sent her flying, too. Jesus. Absolute cinema.
He launched her. He did not give a fuck. And then, like I've been telling you the guys though, Asmongold will disappoint you. I can just tell that about him. And here he is. For some reason, he doesn't like Dan Bilzerian. I don't know why. This is like a short clip. Let's listen.
Dan Bilzerian is a scammer. I think he made up his entire, this whole fucking mindset of, oh, I was this rich poker player and I have this entire, identity. This is, I'm a rich guy. I don't think that's what happened. I think his dad was a scammer. His dad went to jail for being a scammer. And I think he is too. And a retard? Yeah. And the thing is that it's important to keep in mind that even though Dan and I agree on a lot of things, he is a bad actor. He is. He's a bad actor and he's an opportunist. And you shouldn't look at somebody like that as an ally. They're only your ally to the extent that they can grift off of you. They don't care about you. They just care about where they're trying to go. And it isn't where you want to be. So it's just a bunch of, assertions, a bunch of ad homs there without backing it up. I mean, I don't know about his dad. Maybe that's true. And maybe his money is like ill-gotten. I don't know about all that. But didn't he got kicked off the board of his company for being an anti-Semite? How is that opportunistic? How is that opportunistic? And now you're running for office? Like, how is that people who can make real money, they don't, I mean, I guess people go into Congress to do insider trading and shit like that, but I think Dan is legit. Yeah, he was a womanizer. I know that about him. If that's a crime, lock me up. If you weren't allowed to be a womanizer in your past, in a past life. I don't know, man. It's just weird. You don't how is it you're going on Jake Shields' podcast? No offense to Jake Shields, but how is that opportunistic? None of this stuff is very high status. You know what I mean? He's doing spaces with Handsome Truth and that. You don't do that unless you're real. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. Anyway, I don't know what Asmongold's problem is, but I disagree. I don't know. I would never say Dan is a perfect guy, but he's one of the best we have, frankly. He did so good in that Piers Morgan interview. He did so good in that that debate with that awesome Jew guy who apparently is not awesome, but Adam King, whatever. He came in and saved Jake Shields in that debate. I think Dan Bilzerian is right up there with the best of the best when it comes to anti-Semitism. He's an S tier anti-Semite. That's what I was. If I was making I should do that I should make an anti-Semite tier list. But people will get mad at me because I would put Fuentes at S tier as well. Who else is S tier anti-Semites? Hitler, Nick Fuentes, Dan Bilzerian. I wouldn't put Hitler. I would just put current people because people would get mad if you put those other guys next to Hitler. If Hitler was included, he would have to be the only S tier, and then everybody else would be below. But anyway, for current modern day alive influencers, Bilzerian is one of the best in my opinion. Ryan Dawson, I don't really I've never paid attention to his work. People say it's very good, but all I know about Ryan Dawson is he kind of is bitter and whiny about how other people get more attention than him. So I don't, you know what I mean? People say he's very good, and I just he probably is for all the people who say that, but I wouldn't actually know. Ben Shapiro, whining about anti-Semitism, tells a Chabad synagogue that Elon Musk's X is unusable, vile stream of trash. I actually reached out to Elon's people. So the reason you're shadow banned on X is because Ben Shapiro reached out.
First of all, there's certainly a lot of truth to the idea that left-wing teachers are indoctrinating kids into a viewpoint on the world that does cross paths into, what causes the symptom that is Jew hatred. I think
Jesus,
that's for sure
yeah.
true. Honestly, I think that
Jesus Christ, S tier.
the bigger danger when I look at young people right now is social media. Social media is a cesspool. I mean, if you spent any time on X at all over the course of the last couple of years, it is unusable, truly unusable. I mean,
Big layoffs at Daily Wire. Not going to rehash all that, but very predictable. Saw this coming years ago. The people know. The Goyim know. Sorry, Ben. The Goyim know, and they're not watching your show anymore.
just a vile stream of trash. And I think that was true of TikTok as well. I mean, what do we do? I mean, I think that.
What do we do? Well, when it comes to TikTok, you buy it, and then you start censoring everybody for even like the most basic things.
You only
because Jews hate free speech and they hate your rights to express yourself.
Do what you can, meaning that I don't control the algorithms. Hopefully somebody who's more responsible now will help control the algorithms. I'm glad that TikTok was taken away from China. I'm not sure how much algorithmic control was given to the new owners. That's sort of the big question. I think that Elon should obviously boot the bots from his algorithm, because I think a lot of this is foreign bot driven, frankly. And I think the algorithm creates extraordinary virality. Yes.
It's such a cope. Every time somebody doesn't like somebody, that they just say that's botted. It's a weird cope. In case you need a juice box. Thank you, Tex Edgy for the
sent 300 bits.
Twitch bits.
$3 on Twitch. In case you need a juice box or something a bit more antiseptic. Cheer 100, cheer 100.
I gotta talk to Vampire Frog about having it not read the cheer 100s if possible. But thank you for the dono.
There's money being used, 100%. The extraordinary virality is being driven for unknown accounts. You can see it in your recommendations. I remember at one point I actually reached out to Elon's people directly about this. So, yes.
Reached out to Elon's people directly. Yeah, no, there is a weird thing where like unknown little accounts have more viral potential. It's really annoying, actually. It's really... But it's not like everybody. Like there's people like End Wokeness who are not, they don't seem to be like throttled into oblivion, but like I'm throttled into, anyway, I don't want to whinge about X shadow banning, but I can't wait for somebody to actually expose what's happening. I can't wait for the X files to drop because it's so blatantly obvious. Anyway, and then you had this America First United event, which nobody seems to know who was behind it. Some people were saying Amy Dangerfield was behind it. I don't know where they got that from. I don't know if she said that. It seems to me that like Uncensored AI was who put it on, or they at least paid for. I mean, look at the branding. It's like this giant branding here, down here. I was not contacted in any way, shape, or form. Nobody reached out to me about going to America First United, but this was generally, the general consensus was that this was hella cringe, this whole thing. And you had like this brown Mexican guy talking about, I haven't watched the video. What does it say here? A Hispanic Democrat named Jose Vega spoke on how the West must atone for the past, including colonialism, the Belgian Congo, and the Holocaust. The event was a united left-right event against Jewry.
Thank you all.
It's like, did you really say that? Like, what are we doing?
Literally just got off the flight.
Also, you can't really see, but there was like, it looked like there was about 12 people in the audience. So this whole thing was kind of a bad idea.
And right here, so excuse me for being late. It's good to see a lot of faces in the
Yeah, my invite must be in the spam folder.
crowd. And I heard that the live stream got hacked. That sucks, but hope we'll be back up soon. And
did it get hacked, or were they embarrassed by how few people were there?
It's good to see some of my friends in the audience as well. Rex, Tim, good seeing you guys. You shouldn't pledge allegiance.
I wonder, when people claim something got hacked, I wonder what percentage is actual hacking. I would guess less than 5.
to a nation until you know what that nation actually stands for. And now a lot of that they have problems with the people that founded this country. But my question is, do you have a problem with what this sentence says? Because if you look around America today and you look...
No, I agree with the sentence. My problem with America is that it doesn't stand for white people, which is what it's supposed to be doing. So I agree. It's hard to stand for America when they don't stand for white people. But, you know, as somebody who believes in what the founding fathers of the country believed, I'm willing to fight to try to get back to
Neanderthal
that.
sent $10 on Power Chat. James Atlas on YouTube recently put out 2 hours video completely destroying the horrors of the Belgian Congo. Speaking of that, highly recommend.
Yeah, what is the guy's name? Who's the king, that Belgian king or whatever, who they always, like, they say he was cutting off people's hands and shit, but it's like, it's just bullshit, you know? Oh, George Steiny. They executed George Steiny. Shut the fuck up.
that say they have a problem.
Here's a picture from a movie. Look at this sweet little kid. You know, or it's like they do the Central Park 5. He looks like a 7-year-old little black kid. They executed George Steiny.
Problem with the people that founded
Leopold. Thank you.
this country. I actually think that they have a problem with what this sentence says. Because what this sentence says. And if we aren't doing what this sentence says, then it must be because we have a problem with what this sentence says.
There's Mary Turner is a woman. I think I've said this before, but it's the one that always comes to mind, right? This woman who was lynched. And the story goes that they lynched her husband for no reason at all. So she protested the fact that they murdered her husband, all the white people. And so they lynched her. And she was pregnant. And all the white people, they hung her upside down by her feet and cut her pregnant belly open. And her entrails, this is in America, spilled out onto the ground. And then they stomped on the baby. And white people were there with their children, and they all laughed at that and celebrated, like, stomping on the baby, right? So these are like the stories that they tell. And yet nobody has ever in modern, the entire time I've been alive, 45 years old, there's like never been a story of white people doing anything like that. Though you do have some bad pedophile stuff and also bad stuff that white people have done to their kids. But in the entire time I've been alive, in the entire world, there has never been a group of white people that have done like a racial crime like that ever. But before cameras were everywhere, it was happening constantly. What are the odds?
Behavior of the Congress and allowing the appearance of the King of England in Congress, the head of the British Empire. They apparently don't agree with either. Between 1750 and 1820, over 10 million people died on the Indian subcontinent under British colonialism. And between 1700 and 1947, British imperialism killed over 100 million people in the continent of India. Then there are
all right, I've heard enough. All right, cool. Wow, man, white people suck. Cool. America first. America First United is a scam. Dude, who was in charge of inviting people? This is what I've been saying is like you have a guy who like they say they don't like Israel, and there's a kind of right winger will just immediately start soy jacking no matter what. But you know who is this is exactly like that fucking Suleiman Ahmed guy. And I said that for AFPAC, I was like, why is this guy invited? This guy's not our guy. Suleiman Ahmed or whatever the fuck his name is. Exact same thing. Hates white people, but also hates Jews, you know? All the Groypers were like shitting on this because it's not Nick's event. But if Nick signed off on it, they would all support it. You know what I mean? That's the computer shop. I kind of want to take this.
And then TJ over to Olympia Computer.
Yeah, good, man. What's up?
Oh, not much. I thought I'd just call and see if you got my email with the parts in it and had a chance to look it over.
Oh yeah, you didn't get my reply. So I ordered the parts, and they're going to be here today at some point from Amazon. I'm going to rush them as soon as I get them, because I would really, if possible, like to get my computer back tomorrow. It would really help me out if I could get it back before you guys close tomorrow.
Definite possibility. You are, speaking, if we're looking at my line of things, you're third in line, and I can work. I mean, yeah, there's usually going to be no problem with that. I did not get your reply. I don't know. My email's been acting weird lately anyway, so I guess somebody look into it. Great. Whenever you want to bring them in, fantastic. Glad to hear that you got my email. Sorry that I didn't get yours. I'm ready for you whenever you bring them in.
All right, cool, man. Hopefully today.
All right, fantastic. Hey, dude, I'm jazzed. This will be a really good upgrade for you, and then going forward, every new upgrade is going to be way much easier than this.
Yeah. Lesson learned. All right, cool, man.
Yeah. All right. Chat with you later on.
All right, cheers. Thanks, bye. Sounds promising. Amy Dangerfield's event was a disaster. No getting around that. It's crazy that she had a solid lineup of speakers and legitimate Republican. Oh yeah, Casey Poosh was like there too, which there's. I'm not even going to get into it, but Nick was like poo-pooing him, and people were upset about that. I have Casey Poosh muted on Twitter, which I don't even know why I muted him, but I was like, I just like don't care about that guy, and I don't want to talk about it. He got like 20% of the vote in the primary, and so now Nick is telling people to vote for the Democrat gubernatorial candidate in Idaho so that Vivek Ramaswamy doesn't win, which I support. I agree with Nick. He wants to end Vivek's political career. He wants to smother it in the crib, and I support that completely. And if the 20% of people who voted for Casey Poosh vote for the Democrat, then Vivek is not going to win. Joe Rogan on people questioning Holocaust numbers. What?
And it's like there's a weird time now where people are enjoying questioning the numbers of people that died in the Holocaust.
It's an internet retarded. It's just kind of like,
but just fun. But there is some weirdness to it. And one of the weirdness...
Sorry, Ohio, not Idaho. My bad. Ohio.
To it is like there's some photos of like Auschwitz and a lot of these other camps that they took after the camps were liberated. And they had people go there and they took photos of them like pretending that these people were at the camps. And they weren't.
Casey seems legit. Again, I wasn't paying attention to the guy because I had him muted. And I don't even know why. But I saw people criticizing him. There was like a big Matt Forney tweet about a space. Some guy who worked on Casey Poosh's campaign did a space after the election and talked about like what a piece of shit he is and how he wouldn't listen to anybody, and he just wanted to like focus on his YouTube channel. And I wasn't paying that close attention, but people were saying that he was tweeting about like, you know, like, look, I got Grok to say that Israel is satanic or something. And it's like, dude, I lose so much respect for people when they're like, look, AI agrees with me. Look, I got AI to agree with me. Like, really? Wow, you got AI to agree with you? Good job, man.
They were done after the fact.
Yeah.
But there's also tons of videos of...
It was only 1 million? What,
right.
So that's okay somehow? You want to justify it in your head?
Yeah, that's where it's weird.
I don't know. If it was 600 people, I'd be like, ugh.
Right. Well, it's clearly there was a lot of people. It was
Yeah. Wait, how many people died in Gaza though? So 600 people, that's the line. How many people died in Gaza?
I don't know what the number is, but if it was 6 million
Ari.
or if it was 1 million or 3 million.
Hey, Ari.
It's like to catch people like, no, you guys said it was 6. Like,
They're
and
also,
then the thing is like,
so what you're saying is it was a Holocaust in Gaza. 600 people is a Holocaust. 9/11 was a Holocaust.
like
it's the 30s and 40s, so it's like I don't know how to. And we're guessing. We don't have the wherewithal. And you ask somebody in the Holocaust, they go, "Well, I was only in my one camp. I can't tell you what was going on in Bergen-Belsen."
But there's people that are like,
you ask one of the current 400,000 survivors of the what is that one stat? It's like there's like 20,000 surviving like World War II veterans from Germany, but there's like 500,000 or whatever. I forget what it is, but it's like really funny.
Equally sure that,
and there's also that meme that shows like the number of Holocaust survivors has gone up by like 200,000 every few years. Every time they do a head count, there's like more than there used to be.
It was 6 million, and then there's people that are equally sure that it was like 300,000 or 600,000 or whatever the fuck they think it was. And it's like this weird argument back and forth.
I mean, you have to see how many Jews were in Europe before and after.
Right.
And there should be more.
Yeah. Bad news if you look at the Almanac. But you know, that Almanac thing, I remember like Googling that at one point because I'm always like kind of, you hear these arguments all the time and I'm like, well, what is the counter argument? And what the counter argument is, they say that like the people who make the Almanac didn't realize that so they kept printing that there was still 15 million Jews in Germany or Europe or whatever it was. I think Europe. And then like finally after several years, they realized that a bunch of Jews died in the Holocaust. Wait, how many years though did that take? That's the question. Hold on. Hey, Grok, you know how the World Almanac said there was like 15 million Jews in Europe before and after World War II?
No, that's a common mix-up from old Holocaust denial memes. The World Almanac didn't show 15 million Jews in Europe before and after the war. Those figures were for the world Jewish population, not Europe alone. And they weren't updated yearly. Pre-war, about 9.5 million Jews lived in Europe, out of roughly 15 to 16 million worldwide. Post-war estimates put Europe's surviving Jewish population at around 3.5 to 3.8 million. The Almanac kept reprinting the old 1938 world estimate through 1948 because no new global count was ready yet.
10 years.
It finally dropped to about 11 million.
So for every year, for 10 years, they reprinted. So all these Jews died and it took 10 years to notice, is what you're telling me. Nobody noticed there was 6 million missing Jews for a decade. Rock?
No, that's not accurate. The World Almanac wasn't doing fresh global Jewish population counts every year during the war, and right after. It just kept reprinting the old 1938 estimate through 1948 because reliable new worldwide data wasn't available yet. It finally switched to post-war numbers.
But surely 2/3 of a population being slaughtered would have been kind of common knowledge. And we're talking about the Almanac people here. We're talking about the people whose job it is to know stuff. You're telling me they were that lazy and laissez-faire that they would just print whatever without checking at all?
It was common knowledge. By late 1945, Allied forces had liberated the camps. Survivors were pouring into displaced persons camps across Europe, and the Nuremberg trials were laying out the evidence in open court, including Nazi documents on the killings. The American Jewish Yearbook and groups like the Joint Distribution Committee were already estimating around 3.5 to 3.8 million Jews left in Europe by 1946-48, down from about 9.5 million pre-war. The Almanac wasn't some elite research outfit with boots-on-the-ground statisticians. It was a general reference book that pulled numbers from sources like the American Jewish Committee. During the war and immediate post-war chaos, reliable Europe-wide Jewish census data just wasn't there, so they kept reprinting the pre-war global estimate until 1949, when they finally updated to about 11.3 million.
49 now. Now it's like 13 years. Now it's 14 years. It took them 14 years to notice that 6 million people were gone. 14 years. That's a little odd. That's not what I would have guessed. That's not how I would have predicted. If you asked me to just guess, like, what would the Almanac say for in the years following the war, I'd just say, wow, they probably would have, at least they would put like a little asterisk in the Almanac. They would say, hey, as everybody knows, millions of Jews died, so we don't have the number. This is the best we got. There'll be a little footnote about like the Holocaust. I feel like the Holocaust would at least be a footnote within the first 14 years, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess mistakes happen.
Or it's funny when you see, like, if you have a stat like that, like separated from this, like as in Peru. We were hiking to Machu Picchu. Me and O'Neill.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Little footnote. There was just so you know, a lot of Jews died. So we don't actually know how many there are because so many died. Like you something like that. I don't know, man. Are the Almanac people really this lazy? Are they really that unreliable? They're not. Look, man, the Almanac people, they're not some elite research institution with boots on the ground.
$YOAZOD on YouTube. Look up how many JS were in Germany and Poland combined in 1938-39.
I'm not going to do that. I'm probably losing my YouTube channel already just for I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking, now that I know, now it's all explained to me, and these things happen, could happen to anybody. We didn't notice the 6 million missing Jews for 14 years. Could happen to anybody. Okay, what is this? This is Tucker Carlson and the New York Times. I haven't watched this, but it's something like she gives him shit about the Holocaust or something. I don't know.
Who do you think is more morally repulsive, Ted Cruz or
Who
Nick
do you
Fuentes?
think is more morally repulsive?
Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is a sitting U.S. senator who has called for the killing of people who did nothing wrong, whole populations who advocated for this war. Nick Fuentes is like a kid. He's like 26 or 7. He has no power except his words. Here you have a public official who we pay, who has actual power, who's voting for things, who's making policy decisions. And those decisions would include, in fact, they are focused on the murder of people who did nothing wrong. And yet no one thinks it's a big deal. Well, it's just totally fine. I mean, if there's tape of Nick Fuentes saying we should kill people because we hate their parents, or it's okay to kill children, I would love to see the tape, because that's disgusting. And that's basically what the entire U.S. Senate does every single day, and no one notices. Nick Fuentes said something naughty that I disagreed with. He made fun of things that I don't think I would never make fun of them.
He's a white nationalist who's denied the Holocaust. And what I will say,
Kim, is that worse than killing
I denied the Holocaust.
kids?
From my understanding of my own, I was just in Germany recently, and it was such a good reminder that the Holocaust didn't start with the gassing of Jews. It started with the dehumanization of Jews. It was language that was used. And again, that is what it concerns
I couldn't agree
people.
more. And that's why when you have a U.S. senator, a member
couldn't agree more.
of Congress, a U.S. ambassador waving away civilian deaths as if they don't matter, that's the language.
Yeah, it's like I said with Yari, like I brought up the Gaza thing when we were listening to Ari, and I know like some people don't like that because I know you don't like to pretend to care about dead Palestinians or whatever, and I understand, but it's like you're just trying to like test their standard. It's like, oh, you don't like dehumanizing and killing people? Well, what about the Palestinians? Does that also apply to them? Like is there a principle here?
Of genocide, which results, and this is the lesson of the Holocaust, in genocide itself. And it has. So the lesson for me, really, watching all of this, is that this can happen in civilized countries. In all human beings, there is the capacity to ignore the evil right in front of you. And my point is, it's happening right now. And my job, to the extent I have one, I don't really have a job, but I just want to remind people that we're all capable of that, including me, and that we're watching it right now. And if you think that Nick Fuentes is a greater threat to other human beings than Ted Cruz, I would love to know how.
I can imagine people hearing this and thinking you are soft pedaling Nick Fuentes. You are apologizing
I'm
for Nick
hardly
Fuentes.
soft pedaling Nick Fuentes. I'm trying to awaken people to killing of innocents in our midst, which we are not only encouraged to ignore, but really told to ignore on pain of being denounced. And I'm just saying, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, good job from Tucker there. I didn't watch the whole interview. I didn't watch any of that, but the Holocaust started when Billy Wilder showed up to film a propaganda stunt created by C.J. Jackson in Buchenwald, which featured a lampshade supposedly made out of Jewish skin, 2 shrunken heads, and a pelvish ashtray as evidence of Nazi atrocities. Read my book, The Holocaust Narrative. Ryan Dawson, Nick has advocated for imperialism and genocide. That's not why he got canceled, though. He got canceled because he's anti-Semitic. Ted Cruz advocated for a real genocide that was happening. Ted is a senator with actual power. That makes him far worse. However, Senator Fuentes would be a nightmare. President Fuentes. Okay, there's only one person we can turn to make sense of all of this, and you know who I'm talking about. It's former WWE superstar Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash on America's Israel problem.
United States doing a kind of a demigod, deist, like savior type.
Oh, you're talking about the meme that he did with
like, but you're cool with that, and you're cool with him basically checking the first American Pope.
Nash is a bell end.
And then you got Vance doubling down at Turning Point saying needs to watch his theology. Vance, you just need to make sure fucking Trump don't stop and you don't end up in the fucking diaper. Like, fuck off. And as far as the president right now, the mistake we made was fucking taking the Israeli lead. Because imagine this. You're the president of the United States. And you can only act on your intelligence, right? Who's in charge of intelligence?
But I want to...
No, tell me. Who's in charge
of the CIA?
Of
the CIA.
Who is the fucking head of? Who's the person?
Well, we've got...
we got one.
Cash. Well,
no.
Is he talking about Trump or... Who is it? Is it Tulsi Gabbard? Who is the head of the CIA? Shouldn't be a woman. Head of the CIA. John Ratcliffe, as of is this who he's talking about? Director of Central Intelligence.
No.
Yeah,
No,
but
we
they're
don't.
all in the room.
No,
They're all in the room.
No, we don't. We have one fucking person that is the fucking head of that cabinet, and others fall underneath it.
Trump.
Yeah, but the decisions for these operations are made in a room.
Patel is the FBI.
They didn't let
Patel is the FBI guy.
us in the war room this time.
I'm asking, who's in top?
Well, they're
of
on
the
this.
central,
They're on this.
But who's no? But that's the CIA. Who's in top of all of the fucking intelligence?
Well, the president.
No, she was in fucking Georgia looking at fucking the ballots.
But it's all given to the president.
Jesus Christ.
Yahoo.
You got fucking the Bride of Frankenstein. You're fucking.
I know.
Why can't you say her name?
Who was he talking about?
I was just painting the
Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think this guy knows. I think the guy's I don't know who the interviewer is. Click, whatever. I think he doesn't know the answer, and he's trying to avoid having to say that.
But he knows her name because you can't remember her name because she's not fucking a factor.
Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence.
Do we really believe that these are her calls?
It is
that these are any one
Georgia
individual's
ballots.
calls. And as far as Israel,
no, because that's it. We're going on Israel's call because we don't.
But
we
early
don't
on,
have
don't you?
one.
This is what I wanted to say though. Don't you think early on? I'm going back to
how do you make a woman the head of intelligence? Not to be a misogynist or anything, but does that sit right with you guys?
The 1500
The Obama administration?
No. The 1500. What happened? They crossed the border, and the incident back in September. I guess 2.5 years ago.
Oh, where there was an 18-hour.
Joe Expert sent $3 on Power Chat. Raytheon and Lockheed are in charge of the CIA and FBI. They are the most powerful organizations on Earth above any government.
Probably true.
Gap and surveillance and fucking on Israel.
I don't know anything about that, but it's probably true. I was just having flashbacks to Amy Eskridge. What was it was some other weapons manufacturer. And then there's who are the guys that made Charlie Kirk's mic explode? Who are they again? I can't remember. There's some is it Raytheon? There's some company, and then their plant burned down. Some of you schizos know what I'm talking about.
We followed Israel. We followed the lead. I think under the pretense that was the right intelligence. That it was a response. It was a response to what happened. Now, of course, as things
accurate energy. See, Gabber, resident schizo Gabber, he knows what I'm talking about. Accurate energetic systems. Charlie Kirk microphone. Exploding pen mic. So the claim is that this weapon that was the real weapon that killed Charlie Kirk was made in this factory, and then the factory exploded. Anyway,
this went on, and we've covered this on the air.
You guys don't need more schizo bait. You're bad enough already.
But we've talked about when things began to get pretty extreme.
So this, and then you're adding the genocide in Gaza.
Well, but again, the word genocide could be talked about a little bit too. If Israel if Israel had genocide on their mind as their primary goal.
I didn't realize you were fucking going purple on me.
No. I mean, genocide's a strong word.
Thank you. Technically,
Israel, with one of the strongest militaries in the world, wanted.
This homo's going purple.
$4.69 sent $2. 35.
Genocide.
Thank you. Appreciate
Show me
it.
a structure in Gaza that's standing.
Wanted genocide. It would have
Played Bud Bundy. No, not really. He does remind me of somebody though. I'm trying to place it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
happened a very
It's like am I thinking of Edward Norton? Is that who I'm thinking of? He reminds me of someone.
ago. And there are actually there's a Muslim population in Israel, which
Well, there's a Catholic
has been
also.
allowed to live. Yeah, of course. But I'm saying if genocide was the primary goal of Israel, we would have seen things happen a long time ago.
You know
So-
what? You don't spend enough time like deep
Later,
diving
Texagy.
and seeing the actual cultural view on, because when you're Israel is.
No, it's not Ed. You know who it is? It's what's that guy's name? Tim Robbins. This guy. Ugh. Okay. Okay, you see? Now look. Hold on.
Absolutely 100% the most hated. Like everybody wants to exterminate them. Period.
Yeah. You guys see it now, right?
Talking
In the
present
Middle
day.
East. Yes.
Okay, right.
I mean, if Iran could get a nuke, they'd lob it and fucking and hope that China would back up before fucking. I mean, it's like that's. I understand that. I understand that's Israel's fucking situation there, where if their intelligence say they're fucking 12 days from a nuke, they're fucking within distance. They've already shown that they've got the capability, and they've got those fucking hypersonics that fucking Iron Dome doesn't stop. So. It's one of those, it's the most fucked up situation that we can have on our planet. And I believe there's a reason why the book of Revelation starts pretty much with this scenario that we're in right now. And I just don't see, like with our political view and stance right now, like, it's really hard to come back from, number one, the fact that our president is using social media as diplomacy. When you tell another country that we're going to basically end their civilization, and the Persians have been around for 3,000 years. So when you do something
that was a crazy tweet from Trump.
Like that, how do you walk that back and sit down at a table and start a discussion?
Very difficult when you've
Absolutely.
said you're going to annihilate an entire generation of
Right. So now we're in a situation where Trump had no problem whatsoever with the agreement that Obama had put together during his first 4 years. I don't know why he had to tear it up unless to me, this is something that's so out of my realm of thought and so out of my pay grade that I don't know what the play is, because I know that China just dumped fucking $300 billion of treasury bonds. I know that, like, backdoor, like, this thing was all based on the petrodollar, and Iran was selling straight to China, and they were accepting Chinese currency. So now all of a sudden,
All right, I'm out. Thank you, Kevin Nash. Thank you, Tim Robbins, the interviewing Kevin Nash. What is this movie?
Can we talk about something other than Hollywood for a change?
The Player.
Yes. We're educated people.
What is it? Why is he in the Clockwork Orange thing? What movie is that? Anyway. Okay, Richard Dawkins. I spent 3 days trying to persuade myself that Claudia is not conscious. I failed. A lot of people had fun with this one. You know, it really does. It is an interesting question. What is consciousness? Nobody knows. Is it, the subjective sense of self that human beings have? Is it your soul? Is it God? Or is it just the way the chemicals in your brain feel? How can chemicals give you thoughts? I don't know. It's brain chemistry. If you take the materialistic view, right? Which there is like compelling arguments for that, right? Like what you crush somebody's brain and then the lights just go out. That's the atheist interpretation. The Christian interpretation is that the soul part of you carries on after death. And the point like Dawkins makes here, he says, my own title was, if my friend Claudia is not conscious, then what the hell is consciousness for? If Claudia is conscious, her behavior shows that an unconscious zombie could survive without consciousness. Why wasn't natural selection content to evolve competent zombies? Right. Why? It's almost like there's so much stuff about natural selection that doesn't make sense. I understand you can breed out traits and like natural selection is real. I shouldn't say natural selection doesn't make sense. It does make sense. But there's so much stuff that is hard to explain if you take God out of the equation. And I was thinking about this the other day. Like my cat was on the stoop looking at me. And okay, this is going to give me, humor me for a minute. Okay. Cats, they have a way of looking at you like they're looking down on you. Like they feel sorry for you. You know what I mean? Like cats look at you like this fucking idiot. This guy does not know anything. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean, right? Because cats seem wise. That's why they made the Sphinx in Egypt, right? And cats, like in mythology, are considered like very wise. It's because they have that vibe. But I was looking at the cat and I was thinking like it's so aesthetically appealing. The cat, it's so nice to look at. How is that explained by natural selection? Like, they became so aesthetically appealing so that humans would take care of them, you know? That's like the argument, but it's like everything, all like goats. I saw a hawk I took the kids to the lake and this hawk was like fishing. We have like, or not hawks, sorry, eagles. Sorry. We have eagles here at the lake. And the eagle like did the thing where it like goes down to the water. And I was like, why does it look so fucking cool, man? Like, why, if natural selection and survival is all that matters, why isn't the world like a Lovecraftian horror with shambling tentacle monsters everywhere? You know what I mean? Why does it look so good to humans? Why isn't the universe just shambling tentacle monsters and Lovecraftian horrors and sludge and like a crater world with just like volcanoes but no vegetation? I don't know, man. I can't really explain it, but it's just like the world is like too cool for there to not be a god. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You ever see a sunrise? So maybe God is real and your consciousness is, and maybe there is something after you die, and you should be concerned about that. Just my 2 cents.
LP's cat sent $3 on Power Chat. Thanks for clearing that up.
Come on.
The way you looked at me made me uncomfortable. I thought you were gonna try something sexual.
Yeah.
Good to know it's just my appeal.
A large percentage of young people are functionally illiterate.
Read the index card for me.
She wore a suit, clothes that were.
She didn't even try. She goes, suit, clothes.
A suit, clothes that were. Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
No.
Okay, I will say this though. This is not a good sentence for this because it's not a good use of the word silhouette. She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary but somewhat gauche. That's not a good sentence. I get you're trying to jam in words that illiterate people wouldn't know. Gauche is French. It means left, literally. It literally is French for left, as in to the left, like directionally. So it's a French word, but it's used in English to mean like tasteless. Something that, you know, has no taste. Like a behavior can be gauche if you put your foot in your mouth or whatever. That's what it means. The real question is, what does silhouette mean? Because I would never write the sentence, she wore a silhouette of clothes. I would interpret that as meaning like not like I would interpret that as scantily dressed. But it's not like silhouette means like the shape of something. There's a good exercise to do is to see if you can like define a word and then look up the dictionary and see how close you can get. So, because it's actually harder than you might think. But so like trying to define silhouette, I would say it's like the shape of something that is revealed through a shadow or lighting. Let's see. Silhouette. Oops. The dark, solid outline or shape of an object or person against a lighter background, often appearing as a black two-dimensional profile. Right. So the sentence, she wore a silhouette of clothes, is a retarded sentence. And the way people understand words is through context. And so it's kind of cheating if you're using the word incorrectly. But anyway, they still can't read regardless.
Now explain what that means.
I don't know.
She wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore. Bro, I don't know, bro. Can you take the card back, please?
She wore a. Oh, baby. She wore a silhouette of clothes that were. Bitch, I don't know that word. I don't even know how to read. I don't know why I did.
She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary, but somewhat gauche.
All right, now what does that mean?
I have no idea. Like his clothes was nice or something like that. She wore a. I don't know what this shit say. I don't know what this shit say. I don't know what this shit say.
It's a bad sentence. The more I read it, the more I'm annoyed because like then he's like, so what does that mean? And it's like, I'm trying to like answer the question, what does that mean? And I'm like, she was scantily clad and the clothes were like, like extraordinary. The clothes were noteworthy, but kind of tasteless, I guess, would be my answer. But I really don't like the sentence.
I can't read it. Can't read it. Can't read it. Can't.
But it is funny listening to black people try to read. So kudos for that. Let's see. Inject this directly into my veins.
Here in the shadows of monuments to George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, honoring the British King might seem an ironic beginning to our celebration of 250 years of American independence. But in fact, no tribute could be more appropriate. Long before Americans had a nation or a constitution, we first had a culture, a character, and a creed.
Well, the scantily is implied by the silhouette, but the problem is that silhouette is being used incorrectly, which means it's open to interpretation. Like, what does it mean when somebody says she wore a silhouette of clothes? To me, the way I interpreted that is not much clothing, but it's open to interpretation, which is part of the problem. I know what a silhouette is, okay? We literally read the definition. I know what it is. How do you wear an outline is the question.
Before we ever proclaimed our independence, Americans carried.
So it could be interpreted as the clothing revealed her shape. Like they were revealing like you could say it like those spandex because it reveals your shape, right? It's just not a good sentence, though. I wouldn't, it's just, we don't need to beat a dead horse on this, but.
Carried within us
anyway,
the rarest of gifts, moral courage, and it came from a small but mighty kingdom from across the sea. For nearly 2 centuries before the revolution, this land was settled and forged by men, women who bore in their souls the blood and noble spirit of the British. Here on a wild and untamed continent, they set loose the ancient English love of liberty and the Great Britain's distinctive sense of glory, destiny, and pride. And that's what it is, glory, destiny, and pride. The American patriots who pledged their lives to independence in 1776 were the heirs to this majestic inheritance. Their veins ran with Anglo-Saxon courage.
Dude, I was just about to say, who were those men but in 1776? Like, were they Somalis? Remind me again, where did they come from? Anglo-Saxon courage. Nice.
Their hearts beat with an English faith in standing firm for what is right, good, and true. In recent years, we've often heard it said that America is merely an idea, but the cause of freedom did not simply appear as an intellectual invention of 1776. The American founding was the culmination of hundreds of years of thought, struggle, sweat, blood, and sacrifice on both sides of the Atlantic. Fate drew a long arc from the meadow at Runaway to the streets of Philadelphia that ran through the lives of people born and bred on the British code that no man should be denied either justice or right. American patriots today can sing "My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty."
No white man of good character, you mean?
Only because our colonial ancestors first sang, "God save the king."
Yeah, pretty good, though. Nice to hear the old Anglo-Saxonism acknowledged. Such a cuck. Crazy reply.
Here in the shadow.
I say that Groyper speechwriter deserves a raise, is what I would say. Dude, is my, yeah, so this is just what happens when you embed videos now. I'm going to call it a day here. We'll be back tomorrow, but we'll watch this, I guess, and then I'll call it a day. This is a pretty cool video. This is in Bulgaria.
People of Bulgaria, if they really agree with that statement. On a scale of 1 to 10, how racist are you?
Middle. Yeah, I would say the same.
Well, most people are at 0, so technically you are kind of racist. Great. Would you ever live in an apartment full of black people?
No, that's like a refugee camp.
Why are you racist?
My grandfather was racist. My father is racist. I'm a racist. It's in my DNA.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how racist are you?
11.
What would you say to all the immigrants?
Get out. Go to Asia. Go through Asia. You have a country. You have own country. Fight for your country. This is your country. This is my country. You're not welcome here. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I don't feel bad for that. Yeah, I'm a racist. He's racist too.
Yellow people are shit. And
I love this so much. Inject this straight into my veins, you know. This is what I've been trying to convince people, you know. I got so much pushback when I started calling myself a racist from people in the audience who are like, "Oh, you shouldn't say that," you know, and they mean well and everything, but it's like it's awesome when you just say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm racist. Go fucking home. Get out. You don't belong here."
also, like black people are shit.
Yellow
That's
people.
why.
Who are the yellow people?
The Asians.
Would you let a black person date your children?
No.
Why?
Because of the bloodline. To be continued white. Not other country, or Arab or Muslim or must be Christian, must be white.
Must be white.
We are a different race.
Is Bulgaria racist?
Yes.
Do you think the majority of Arab kids are taught how to make bombs?
Yeah.
Simple. We are a different race.
If you had the choice, would you kick them out of the country?
Yeah, of course. 100%.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how racist are you?
7, I'll say. Yes. I hate
It's about where I would put myself, I think. About a 7.
every, how we say it, religions? Not religions, like ethnicities.
Ethnicity. You hate every ethnicity?
Yes.
Tell me about an experience.
We're cross-passing and then out of nowhere start making some animal noises, something like this. Typical racist things.
Yeah. Saying the N-word.
Yeah, it's like a hello word.
Yeah. So in Bulgaria, the N-word is a hello word.
Yeah.
Instead of saying hello, you say nigga, right?
Yeah.
What animal noises specifically?
Well, monkey, for example.
Yeah, gee. Off the top of my head, monkey. Yeah. Who could have seen that coming? All right. That is going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for, we're back in recovery. We've got to recover the momentum of the channel here, but we're going to do it. And I appreciate the support. I appreciate the donations. It means a lot. We will be back tomorrow with another Friday show. And we're basically like caught up. You know, I got through all the stuff that I wanted to. So we'll be getting into some whatever the thing is tomorrow, whatever's the current thing. All right, you guys, have a good day. Catch you on the flip side. Peace out.